Hey guys, welcome back. We are here today to look at the Kronshtadt. Look at the beautiness of this. Now this ship has just recently been launched onto each server, and it's free for you, technically, for 750,000 free XP and 1 credit. That's not a bad trade-off, I have to admit. I do really enjoy this ship. It's really strong in areas, and it's got some major weaknesses, which we will go through as we review this ship. Again, at the end you'll see a bit of gameplay. The game's not like the top battle I've had in this. I wanted to show a battle where you see the strengths and the potential weaknesses in this ship. But anyway, to the ship at the moment. As we can see, the armour layout is pretty good. Okay, look at this armour belt, 230mm. If you can get the proper angle and you can make battleships hit this, you'll tank all day long. The problem is this bit. Okay, it's only got 25mm front plate armour. Its deck's 25mm at the front and all the way along. Okay, you are susceptible to HE fire from every caliber from 152 up. So you've really got to think about HE damage, and you've really got to think about how you're going to survive that. And I think that's one of the weaknesses I've got with this ship. It just doesn't seem to tank HE, and I think that's a good thing. Because when you can tank AP like this, you've got to have a weakness somewhere, and HE is it. So be prepared to actually have to spec your captain and your ship into HE fire control. Looking at the specs though, and how I've built this, we'll look at the upgrades first. So I've gone for main armaments module 1. You really want those guns to keep firing, they are your bread and butter. I've gone for damage control systems mod 1 to reduce the risk of fire. I've gone for aiming systems mod 1. I really want those guns to be as accurate as possible. They are quite big guns, and they do have battleship dispersion, although the Sigma is very good. They do have battleship dispersion, so you want to get as many hits on target as possible, so I've gone for that. I've currently got steering gears mod 2 in here at the moment because the manoeuvrability of the ship isn't great. And I'm just currently testing this out. I think I'm probably going to end up swapping this for damage control systems mod 2. And the reason for this is you find that you're normally quite static, and rudder shift doesn't really make much of a difference. So I'll probably end up speccing out of this and going for this. But this is the build I've got in the game you're about to see. Compulsory. In slot 5 is your concealment systems for most ships. In fact, the only one I don't use it on is the Haberovsk. That might change with the new legendary upgrades depending on the upgrade, but at the moment concealment systems is the way to go. And finally, like I say, you want those main battery guns firing as quickly as possible, decreasing your loading time. It's fascinating, and you get your guns firing at 16.3 seconds. That is incredible. Look at that dispersion. Look at that dispersion. 225 meters. Anyway, consumables. I've gone for defensive fire. The AA on this ship isn't that good, okay, but I've gone for it to help more than anything else. You really want to make sure that if there's an aircraft carrier in the game, you give him something to think about. It might not be much because your levels aren't great. There's 31 when you're short, 85 when you're mid, and 59 when you're long. You multiply that by 4, but when you've got that running, but it's not that great. Obviously, I've gone for surveillance radar. It's the only one you have in there, and then your heal. Looking quite good. My captain at the moment, I've only spent 10 of my 13 points. This was a new captain I put in. I've gone for priority target. Again, I kind of like to know when people are targeting me and how many people are targeting me. Concealment's not great, so disengaging is quite hard. But it allows me to think about where they might be firing from so I can angle effectively and help out. Expert marksman. Again, I've got Victor Zemensky here, who's the lovely captain, who gives me plus 3% on my turret traverse, which is quite useful, especially on the turret traverse on this end. It's pretty good, but this helps even more. Wanting that extra radar and that extra heal. Again, concealment to push in. And then after this, I'm probably going to start thinking about tanking this ship out. I'm thinking about basic survivability. I've got 3 points to spend on that now. I'm thinking high alert. I'm thinking preventative maintenance. Going down this route here, so that's another 6 points I'll have, leaving me with 3, and I'm not sure where I'm going to spend them yet. I could go fire prevention, basic survivability, and then high alert, and that gives me even more. So yeah, not 100%, but there we go. Anyway, that's the build. Let's go into some games. So, into the game, and as we can see, we are, well, we're not going to be top tier, are we? Normally in a tier 9, you're going to be normally middle tier, and that's exactly where we are. Some really good ships to have a look at there, and I've skipped ahead a little bit because not much really happens in the first 2 or 3 minutes of any battle. But here we go. So I'm pushing down between B and C. Now the reason I've pushed down here, and yes I am detected, is so I can get my radar onto this destroyer here, so I can try and take him out, and hopefully get the Minotaur and Horus is behind me in the Lion, dealing as much damage as you possibly can to this Harakaze. It forces him out of the cap, giving us a bit more time before he starts capping. But because of that, I start getting targeted, and this is where the priority target comes in. Okay, I've only got 2 people targeting me right now. I'm going to guess that's the Minotaur in that smoke screen, and that Zhao, which is firing at me right now. Okay, yeah, that's who it is. There's 4 now targeting me. This is when I kind of regret that I don't have the spotter plane. It'd be a lot easier to hit this Minotaur in the smoke, but this is forcing me away. I've got to move back now. Okay, I'm taking damage. And I just can't hold that on. There's nothing there. I was furthest forward, when really my Minotaur should be further forward than me, helping me out. But we'll pull back, we'll regroup, we'll let this fire burn out, we'll heal through it, and then we'll see what we do next. Now we've got a couple other battleships pulling in north of B at the moment. They're sat way back, but fundamentally my whole team is sat too far back for me really to push in right now. But hopefully that will soon change. And more fire coming in. That's probably from the Conqueror. Look at those shells coming out of that smoke screen. I'm going to try again. I think I'm aiming too high. Looking back at this, I think I'm aiming too high. Once again, that Harakaze has pushed back into B. And once again, there's nothing close enough really to support me with it. 2 ships down already. 3 ships down already. Both our destroyers are gone. So again, I managed to force him out the cap. Little bit of damage on him. Right, here we go. This is when we get to see the real strength of these guns. Hello, Minotaur. How are you feeling today? Feeling good? Not so much anymore. Oh really? Oh, you're really not feeling well, are you? There's another set. That's 3 citadels. Somehow this Minotaur survives this. He heals right through it. Yeah, that's another set. That's 4 citadels on him, and he's still standing because he was allowed to heal through it. Because once again, look at where all my battleships are. Our Minotaur's doing a great job trying to get C. He's pushed right in. So I make a decision. I've got to help him out. He can't sit in there on his own. I know he's got smoke. I know he's got an island to help protect himself. But he can't just rely on that. Eventually his smoke's going to run out and he'll get spotted. He's dealing with some of those planes. So we're going to move in. I'm still looking quite healthy. We've managed to hold them back here at the moment. They're taking A. They're taking B again, sorry. They've taken A. Hopefully we can get C here. So I'm going to move in. I'm going to help support this Minotaur. If I fire, I'll get spotted. Okay? The smoke concealment Smoke fire and concealment bonus on this isn't that great, but I can tank most things if I angle properly. Right, there I am, spotted. Pop my radar again. What is it spotting me? Hello, Minotaur. Somehow you're still alive. I do a hard right. The reason I do the hard right here is because I was waiting for these torps. It's quite obvious. So we've taken C. So only the Conqueror on this flank now. Take a hit. That's fine. So I'm moving out of C. I'm going to push B now. Okay. We've got battleships now pushing B. A Yamato, a Freddy, a Yamato further back. Just lost a battleship. So we're 4-2 down. We're 2 caps to 1 down. But we're going to push right in here. Looks like he's moving slowly, so I aim closer at him. Certainly was. It's a better hit. Not the best hit though. And again, however much I like these guns, they are a little bit inconsistent. You'll see what I mean later. Right, now we're going to try and take B. Now so far, I've been constantly moving. I haven't stopped. And I haven't stopped because I've never found a position where I feel comfortable that I can stop and just start firing. If I was the south side of this map, I would have gone into a really nice position. In Gulf 6. Been using the island that's the top of Gulf 6 to protect me from the A cap while I was having fun at the B and C cap, but we were spawned north, so we don't get to do that. Once again, the Edinburgh here. Whack, there we go. See what I mean about inconsistency of these guns? It's even more pronounced later on. I do still love this ship though. The alpha strike potential you've got is just great. Right, there's a destroyer there. That's the Harikaze, I reckon. So I'm going to have to turn towards him. Torps are probably on the way. We've captured the base. Oh, and the Z46 pops up on the mini-map. So we spotted him. We know he's well within our radar range. We're slowing down. We're going to try and get rid of the Z46 first. When I've reloaded, pop the final radar just to deal with him. Like I said, ready for some torpedoes, so I slowed down, dodged them nicely. Here's the Zhao again. Harikaze's escaped. So perfectly broadside Zhao. 2,700 with a few overpens and a couple of bounces. It's turning broadside again. Let's try that once more. The angle's in a bit better this time. 2 bounces. Again, he's turning in towards me. I'm aiming a bit higher this time because I want to hit a superstructure. Try and get a bit more consistent damage. Get a penetration that time, but only again, a couple of thousand damage. Not great. But as you can see, I'm checking behind me and to my right. Okay, so I know There's a bunch of battleships there. There's the Tirpitz to the north. There's a Yamato and an Izumo just on the north side of the A cap. So I need to keep this island to my right between me. Okay, that's why I was looking off to my right there. Here we go. Fire this one. Ready for this? So he's angled. He's angled. He's angled. He's angled really well. Double citadel. It's just... It doesn't make any sense sometimes. It really doesn't. But there we go. I'm not complaining. Right, so the only thing south of me now I'm really worried about is that Conqueror. I've got a funny feeling the Harakaze is going to be pushing a different cap. He'll be pushing C cap. Because there's just too much of us in here, and he doesn't realise I'm out of radars. So, no idea what our Freddy's doing all the way back at C anyway. But that's his game plan. So I'm going to push around the corner. And finally I've managed to get myself in a position where I feel a bit more comfortable sitting still and bow tanking. So this is when we're going to get to see the armour of this ship for the last few minutes of this game. So Yamato's looking pretty low. He's burning out. We'll try and help that process. In comes some aircraft. I'm going to pop my defensive fire here to try and deal with them. I've focused them. There we go, finally shot one down. Well, these are tier 8 aircraft. 2 down. Okay, they're all gone. But that was tier 8 aircraft. Now if you spec into it, I'm pretty sure it'll be better, but still. Thankfully I had some help from the Hindenburg behind me. This Yamato's still not dead. He's managed to get himself in a position where it's fundamentally only really me firing at him. There you go, there's a good bit of tanking. He did 5,000 damage to me, but most of that hit my armour belt. Bit more worried about the Conqueror south of me now. I'm showing a broadside to him. There we go, finally got rid of him. Move on to the Izumo. One of my weapons has been taken out temporarily. The only reason I'm surviving this Conqueror is he's not hitting me low enough. So I've got to push. I've got to push through. I can't keep going the way I'm going. If I did, a Conqueror would just eat me for breakfast. It's good to see him firing AP though. He was definitely using the right ammunition type there. He just didn't hit the right spots. So, let's push through, let's go deal with his Tirpitz. That was a better hit. So, I'm on 5,000 health. Can we survive? Angling up against the Tirpitz. I know he's not looking at me. He's gone down. Excellent. Right. Push the Izumo. Now the Izumo is showing his broadside to me. He is slightly angled. I'll give him that. So I aim slightly higher. An alright hit. 4.5k. But these are battleship guns. I should be doing more than that. Now he's giving me his brother. He's turning out. No, he's turning back in again. Okay. That's a bounce. I'm getting hit by HE from this Conqueror south of me again. There's another bounce. $2,000 damage, bunch of overpens. So Harakaze has taken C, he's now taken B. He's done a good job actually, Harakaze. That's a better hit. Unfortunately, I didn't get the kill to get my Kraken there. Can we get the Conqueror? I'm going to keep running. I'm not turning around. I know he's trying to take out the Hindenburg right now, but the reason I know that is because, well, twofold. Number one, he's not targeting me. Priority targets tell me otherwise. Number two, the Hindenburg's burning away. So I'm going to keep running. I need somebody else to take the damage for me, and that's going to be Horus in the Lion. Because look at the amount of health he's got. Stop firing. Hopefully I'm going to drop off detection, although there's a bit too many planes around. I'll keep firing. Kazi's blasting away. We've got Minotaur over there, though he can deal with that. I certainly can't. I don't have any radars left, and I'm too far away. And the Minotaur's dealt with the Harukazi. So, all we've got left is a very hurt Conqueror, but we know he can print himself a new ship. And an aircraft carrier, who very much seems to be interested in a Lion right now. Poor Horus. But it looks like we've got this one all sewn up. Conqueror's a little bit trapped. He's done in the trade what we call pulling a Notzer. Coming to reverse. This Yamato's about to get in my way. Or I'm about to get in his way, one or the other. He is bigger than me. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Apologise to him in chat. It really is kind of my fault. I should be paying attention to where I was going. And again, I don't manage to get the Kraken, but this is pretty much how the game ends. And with 137,000 damage and 2.3 million potential damage, it's not too bad. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you again soon.